Aloha, I'm Reverend Tim Lytle, Senior Minister here at Unity Church of Hawaii in Honolulu. And we are so grateful for all of you who watch us on our YouTube channel. We know with you that as you view these teachings and apply them to your lives, that it helps to build your life into the very best one that can be imagined. If you're ever in the area, please come and join us for a service, and please enjoy the message that you're about to watch. Aloha.
Do we have any victims in the house? Anybody here ever felt like a victim? Yeah? I mean, I'm sure some of you have. I'm looking today at Antidote for victims. An antidote. I mean, if you get bit by a poisonous snake, you want to get an antidote. If you get poisoned or something, you want to get an antidote. And if you get victim consciousness, if you get inflicted with that, you need an antidote. Otherwise, you suffer terribly. And so does everyone else around you. Well, not necessarily. We have a choice about whether to suffer with you. But I want to look at an antidote for being a victim. Now, all of us can experience things in life that can feel unfair. This morning, maybe a little bit before 3 o'clock, in the Makiki area where we live, which on Saturday nights, I don't know, people come out of the woodwork and they're drinking, they're drugging, they're doing all kinds of stuff. And so there's yelling and there's screaming and there's wailing and all kinds of things outside the window. And I was really, really tired. But I thought, well, I'll try to go back to sleep. Couldn't. Thought, I think I'll get up and pray and get up and meditate. Do my chanting. And so I was up for quite a while. Went back to bed briefly, and Olga Lucia was up most of the night too. So when we got up and went into the kitchen, have you ever just stumbled through the kitchen? Like you've been there before, but it looks like something brand new, and you don't know where anything is, and you don't know what you're doing, and this other person shows up in the kitchen, and it's like, oh, it's my spouse, I think. And you're just sort of confused. And so Olga Lucia said, oh, we have some oatmeal. Okay. And so I was wanting to be nice. You know, I'm thinking, I'm going to start this day nice. So I reached in the spice drawer to get out the cinnamon. And I love cinnamon, so I covered my oatmeal so the entire top was covered. And I said, would you like some cinnamon on your oatmeal? She said, yeah. And I felt so good. Like, oh, I get to do something nice for this person who's been up all night. And I can show my love. So I sprinkled it on the oatmeal. And, you know, I go out on the lanai to eat my oatmeal. And she comes out there, what did you put on my oatmeal? This is spicy. Now, I love cayenne pepper. And every morning I drink hot chocolate mixed with cayenne pepper. And it just so happens that I keep it right next to cinnamon. Oops. Now, I loved it. I've never had oatmeal like that. And, I mean, the top of my oatmeal was red. You know, and I mixed it up. I loved it. It's like, wow, oatmeal with a kick, you know? She wasn't so impressed. Have you ever just felt like things weren't going your way, weren't going right? Almost like there was some conspiracy against you. Like people had it out for you. People were trying to put you down or something. Someone looks at you wrong at the store, or someone looks at you odd at the family reunion. Well, That's what family reunions are for. But some of us get into this thinking where we begin to think that things are against us or that people are against us. And yeah, we teach this wonderful unity principle that there's no one and nothing against us, that there's only one presence and one power active as my life and as the universe. God, the good, omnipotence. Yeah, that all sounds good on Sunday morning, but when we're in the trenches and things seem to be going wrong, it's harder to remember that. Now, there's this guy that was beaten. He was stoned, not like stoned with drugs, but stoned with rocks. He was put in prison. All kinds of things happened to him. And even the people he was trying to help many times turned against him. This guy's name was Paul, and he wrote a whole bunch of letters, and they're in what we call the New Testament, the Christian scriptures, whole bunch of them. Paul wrote more books in the New Testament than any other writer. And so I want to look at one of those passages. This comes from Philippians chapter 4, verse 13. Philippians were the people that lived in Philippi. That's what you called people who lived in Philippi. Philippians, you know. When I was a kid, I thought, what a weird name. But anyway, 4:13. I have strength for everything in the one who gives me power. Or as it says in many translations, I can do all things through the Christ or through the one who strengthens me. So there's this presence within us that can never be defeated. Honest, there really is. But at times our consciousness forgets that and we lose that vision. And we fall in the victim consciousness. So I want to look at an antidote for that. Now, in Unity we talk about meditation, prayer, affirmations and denials, and all of those help cleanse our heart, our consciousness. I do lots of chanting and praying and meditating, and that helps cleanse my heart and cleanse my mind of the stories that I've developed. Did you know we all develop stories? Because the mind is a meaning-making machine. The mind is a meaning-making machine. So what you encounter in life, we have the tendency to make a story about it. You know? Like the clerk at the store is mean to us. And so we're thinking, oh, they think they can take advantage of me. Or we may think, oh, they're having a bad day. Maybe I can help lift their spirits. It depends on the story we tell ourselves. Most of you have TVs. Not everyone here does. But I have an amazing announcement for you. If you have a TV, are you ready? You can change the channel. Did you know there's numerous channels on TV? You don't have to just watch the one that comes up. The same is true in your mind. You are not obligated to stick to the story that comes up in your mind. You can change the story anytime. That's why it's called a story. You can change the channel. You own the remote. It's up to you. Actually, no one else has the power to make you mad. We are the ones, by the story we tell ourselves, that make ourselves mad. No one else has power over us. We are the ones who have the power to decide what our story is. Or to not have a story. So, when I was awakened at 3 in the morning, I thought, do I want to make a story about this? I really didn't. I didn't see how it would help, you know? Okay, people are drunk, they're loud. Okay, it's my opportunity to get up and pray. It's my opportunity to get up and pray. Seems rather early. However, it's my opportunity to get up and pray. So I started doing something that's called what if upping. What if upping? What if up? So if you're with somebody this week and they're complaining or having a really difficult time, say, what if up? Now, I said that to someone on staff this week, and they said, what'd you say? What if up? We learn in our culture so much about what if down. That is, what if I can't find a parking space in Makiki? It's very tight parking. And those people are so rude. They're always stealing parking spots right before I get there. Okay, that's one story. Another story could be, what if there's amazing parking spots open for me? Oh, look, there is a spot that a mouse could barely fit in. I know my car will fit in, and it does. It depends on the story we tell ourselves. What if upping is, instead of putting the situation down, saying, what if this works for my highest and best good? In another letter written by Paul, and by the way, he was in prison when he wrote that particular passage to the Philippians. He was in jail. And in Romans, he experienced so much imprisonment and difficulty in Rome. But in Romans chapter 8, verse 28, he says, all things work together for good. Really? You sure? In the Hebrew Scriptures, the Old Testament, Joseph had these brothers, and they were very jealous of him. And so while the father was gone, they sold him into slavery, and he was taken into slavery, and then he got falsely accused and went to prison. Seems to be a theme here. But then it all ended beautifully, because he ended up being one of the top rulers in Egypt, and he ended up actually saving his brothers' lives. And he said to his brothers, you meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. That's what if upping. Like, what if, as I'm standing in this long line to check out at the register, what if this is the opportunity to meet someone wonderful that I need to meet? What if, as I'm talking with this person in line, it cheers up their day and it cheers up my day, and other people begin to listen in and they begin to join in the fun? What if the cashier, who's been standing on her feet all day, begins to notice the excitement and feels the shift in the energy? And what if other lines begin to notice and begin to do that in their lines? I've actually witnessed this because I've actually instigated it. What if? What is possible? When we know the presence of God living in, through, and as us, then nothing is impossible. So as we what if up, we begin to align with divine mind, knowing and revealing all that is already good, all that is already there. Let's say you're in a difficult job. What if this job is helping to develop me into the person I need to be? What if this job is actually an answer to my prayer to help me to become the answer to my own prayer? What if the people that annoy us in our lives are actually there to help us to grow? What if we can actually evolve and grow and expand? What if those difficult circumstances in your life may be the springboard for something amazing to happen in your life? What if God is actually God, living as us? What if? What if the universe is conspiring on our behalf? What if the words that we say and the thoughts that we put into motion and the actions that follow actually set up a power through the universe to bring it about and to unveil our greatest yet to be. What if? And when I begin to do this, I don't feel like a victim anymore. In fact, I know I'm not. Because then I align with that divine nature that I am and know that I can reveal this amazingness, this God presence, wherever I am. I do a lot of meditating, praying very early in the morning and late at night on our lanai. And so I see these people, there's thousands of people who live right around us, just in eyesight, thousands of people. And I see this one couple. They're so loving and nurturing and caring with each other every morning. He goes to work at 5:30 in the morning. His wife is always there to greet him on the way out at 5:30 in the morning. 6 in the morning, she goes out to walk their little cinnamon-colored dog. And all these people that I see, I'm praying for them. Every single one of them. Every day. And I don't know them, but I know that we are one, and I know that there's something amazing that's going to happen in their lives. And so I'm watching this man and his partner go out and walk this dog. And a few days ago, I'm like, God, what if I could meet them? What if instead of just seeing them from a distance, I could actually run into them in the street? What if they would actually be open to that? What if that actually could happen? What if they're amazing people? I parked our car at a different spot than I normally park. We looked from the lanai, and Ogalusi is like, why'd you park it over there? I said, it was available. But you never park over there. Well, that's where I parked. But I was thinking, what if something good comes out of that? So we went down to our car, and we had the car going. We're in the car. We have tinted windows, and the windows are up. And guess who walks by? This man, Herman, with his dog, Canelo. Canelo is Spanish for cinnamon. I didn't know that at the time, but I recognized who they are, and they're walking past. But the dog looks back at the car, and the dog is pulling to come towards us. And I've watched these people for a year. The dog has never done this. The dog always just stays by their side. The dog is trying to get to our car. And it's like he's looking right at me, and I start waving, and he's trying to come to me. I'm like, really, God? So, Olga Lucia doesn't know what I'm doing. The car's running, the air conditioner's going. I jump out of the car. And I walk up, and it's like Canelo is like just wanting to see me. And I come down, and we greet each other like old friends. And Herman is saying, I've never seen Canelo do that. It's like you know each other. Of course, I'm thinking, well, Canelo can feel the energy, but I didn't say that. But we got into this wonderful discussion and found out that he's an immigrant from Honduras, works very hard, very wonderful person. And it's like, that all happened from prayer and what if upping just a few days ago. And he's like, so we're talking, and I'm saying something, and he's like, curious about where I work. And we tell him about this place. And he's like, we're looking for a church. What if the miracle is waiting and ready right where you are with whoever you are with? What if all you need to do is to realize, what if this is leading to something wonderful? What if this is the opportunity to experience God? What if this is an experience of a miracle? What if this is the presence of God in this experience wanting to reveal itself as something unique? What if I can unfold to all of this good? This last week we got to see the play, the musical from Midpack called Oliver. You know about Oliver Twist? And Oliver Twist was this orphan who is living in poverty and being taught how to pickpocket and so forth. But he's a really good person, but he didn't really know who he was. He gets arrested for something he didn't do, and the person who accused him feels bad and notices something familiar about him. And it's through those bad experiences that Oliver finds his family and finds that they are rich and very loving. What if you are the presence and expression of God? And what if that presence is absolutely prosperous and abundant and has no lack or limitation? And what if you are the actual representation and expression of that presence? What if you have no limits? What if? What would be possible? Well, anything could be possible. Now I see why Paul would say, all things are possible. What if? That's the antidote to being a victim. Aloha.